and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Build a Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. It's part 152 today, and it's actually going to be quite a unique one this episode. We've got Cardiff Met Uni in the Welsh Cup Final. Should be a really interesting match. Arguably the best side on paper after us, but they have fallen to fourth in the league, and a win today could push them back up and they would get the European spot that goes to normally second or third. What we're looking forward to as well is preparing for the summer and seeing what we're going to be able to do with 5 Welsh sides in Europe and all of the big 4 making it. And we're also going to do something slightly different. We're going to have a look through some of our key players at the squad, just so you can see how good our team is. And I'll tell you why we're doing that in a moment. So if you're looking forward to all of that and the end of another big season in Wales, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. Of course, we have made history as a club during this season and we'd like to make one as a nation over the next year or two. So if you want to stay up to date and find out if we can, please do subscribe down below. Turn that notification bell on for weekday episodes from this series every day at 3:30 and weekend specials as well. We've got the end of our Welsh experiment this weekend and then a brand new mini-series starting next Saturday. There's links to the Twitch channel and the podcast up in the eye above if you want real football content too. But a massive thank you for your incredible support. It really is greatly appreciated. Now let's go and have a look, before we get into the game, at our squad. Now the reason I want to do this is because over the last couple of years we've had quite a bit of debate in the comments, and I actually think it's quite a good one. Obviously we can't load all of the leagues we'd like to because of the fact that we haven't got a good enough gaming PC or anything like that. We've got a standard desktop. But the side effect of that is we ask, are our results in Europe realistic or unrealistic? And I don't actually know the answer. So what I want to sort of do is show you the standard of the squad, because we very rarely get to look at the profiles outside of sort of Bulkley, Jones and a few of the young stars. So the first team, you probably don't really know what they look like and whether they've improved or not. So I want to show you sort of our regular first 11 and a few other superstars, just to see where you rank this side. And it also gives us a chance to give our first bit of summer transfer news, because you might be able to notice towards the top of the screen, if you're eagle-eyed, that Roberto Simancas has got a little TRN next to his name in the information. He is joining Bangor City on the 1st of July. He reduced his wage demands to about 16.5 grand a week. And we were able to up the wage budget very, very slightly. So that means that Roberto Simancas here will be joining us. I would say he's sort of a top championship / very low Premier League keeper. He's maybe not got the composure or the agility. The physical side is what harms him a bit. But he's 6'3", he's a fabulous shot stopper. He's great in the air, which helps the direct style in Wales and in some of the European encounters. And he's actually got a good personality too. At 23, he should improve a bit more as well. And I'm really hopeful that he can do that over the next few years. So Roberto Simancas joining us on a free in the summer. Again, why spend the big money when you can get players of that quality for nothing? The former Real Madrid keeper is coming to join us. Let's move on to the centre halves. Matty Whitaker is the first. Now a fully fledged Welsh international at 26 years of age. He's a really good player. He's maybe not got the technical attributes that you would expect, but very good regardless. Jerome Kelly is the other. He's probably a bit more the other way. A little bit less pace, a little bit older as well, which we've got to bear in mind. And he is wanted this summer, so we might have to think about that with the youngsters coming through. I was hoping for one more year. But very good on the ball. He's a natural passer. He plays out of defence fantastically. Loves a long-range strike, which we haven't seen much of in this save, but is a bit better technically. Kai McDonald is the right back, first superstar of the team. Excellent mentally, excellent physically, and has all the key attributes going forward as well. Is a bit more of a wing back for us. And he just flies forward all day, up and down the line. And because he's got a fairly decent standard of attacking attributes as well, he can take it past the player in the box. He does score a fair few goals. Okay, he's not got any in Europe this year, but he does pop up with the odd one, and they're often spectacular too. Assists galore, we always see them from him. I like him at right back. Left back is Ahmet Bektas. We saw him pretty recently. He joined us again this summer. Very poor tackling. He's not really a natural fullback in Europe, but the way he flies forward in a league is incredible. He's got great attacking attributes. Adds so much to us going forward. I will very quickly show you Nenov as well, because he is improving off the pitch this year. Got his Serbia debut and he started to play well for us. The same goes for Gwyn Morgan in fairness, who's now 3-star ability as well. We've got real strength in depth here that we haven't had for a long time. Harvey Lloyd's still going strong in a holding role. Maybe one of our weaker players now, particularly technically. But he's good in the tackle. He's a big leader, which is really underestimated. A fully fledged Welsh international again, works his backside off. And he's sort of that one player you have to have in every team. He can move, he's agile, he's good in the tackle, he positions himself fantastically. And to be honest, he's the sort of player that we have to have in our team. And whether we get an upgrade in the future or not, I don't know. But he's never been my priority to replace because you can see from the European fixtures, he always delivers on the big stage. Into midfield, we've got Ruben Reyes, who is just one of the stars of the team. He's a Premier League footballer. He's maybe not got standout attributes across the board, but in the key areas, for a Mazzala or a box-to-box midfielder, he's got absolutely everything. He scores long-range strikes, he's great in the pass, he works his backside off, he's quick, he turns direction well, and he's got a great engine. He's the sort of player that you have to have. He combines that technical Spanish ability with a sort of UK-based physical endeavour. And he's the sort of player that if we can keep him for a few more years, could become one of our greats. Kyle Bulkley needs no introduction. He's the first genuinely world-class player we've produced, and he's going to be a superstar for the rest of this save. He scores 1 in 3 in the league. He scores goals galore in Europe. His assist rate, we've seen some of his key passes. He is just an absolute gem, and I will fight my backside off to keep him here. It's the first time in about 3 years he hasn't been wanted as well since signing his new deal. Tom Jones, going backwards a little bit, but still a very good player. He's basically the same as Bulkley, but without that supreme technical ability, which in the Welsh League is perfectly adequate. And then the other one that's starting at the moment is Sam Hunt. Not a wonder kid anymore because he's 21 years of age, but fantastic on the ball. And again, a bit like players we've had in the past, he's really progressed as the year's gone on. We would like to keep him next season, but at the moment, they want 14.5 grand a week as a minimum. And I don't know if for someone who's only just first choice, that's something we want to invest in. And we have got the likes of Pena coming back from loan as well. So that'll probably be a late decision on that front. And in the front two, Kane Walters, we haven't looked at him for ages. He's quick, he's a great finisher, technically he's good off the ball. He's just a hero of this club. He's scored, 11 goals in 16 games in Europe this year, which is the real test of this sort of striker. He's capped at under 19 level for England. He's played games galore, he's scored goals galore. And he did have that one slightly off season, but this year he's just bounced back with aplomb. He's absolutely fantastic. Played less league games than ever before because of our European run. But Kane Walters, one of the greatest players we've had in this save. And considering he came to replace Greg Pringle, the pressure that came with it, he's just been a superstar for us. He's joined by Lloyd Goulding up front, who even quicker, even better finisher, even better off the ball and even more composed. He's just fantastic. Doesn't work quite as hard. Kane Walters gets more of the assists and does a bit more of the dog's body work. But Lloyd Goulding is one hell of a centre forward. He scores goals galore and he's delivered over a goal a game ever since he's been here. Considering those two came in and the scouts didn't really recommend them. They were rated 2.5 star ability. I mean, some of the ones waiting in the wings are just as good. Gethin Davis developing really nicely. Ludimir Srom's become a very good player, particularly mentally. He's maybe that sort of dog's body you need in the middle. A bit like a Harvey Lloyd, I guess. We've just got so much talent across the board and it makes me very excited for the future here. But it means nothing. If we don't get these youngsters through, we don't keep them progressing and we don't win the Welsh Cup Final today. It's Cardiff Met Uni who are our opponents. Let's have a quick look at how we go into this game form-wise. We did just keep our perfect record towards the end. The last 2 league games were as followed. A 2-0 win at home to Bala. 83rd minute, we finally unlocked them. It was Walters and Goulding with 1 apiece, as you would probably expect by now. And in the final day of the season, very strange game. We were 1-0 up at the hour mark through Lloyd Goulding. We got a second late one from Matty Whitaker. But the last 15 minutes, they dominated. And it could have been 2-2. They had a goal ruled out for offside. They had another time to hit the woodwork in stoppage time. And in the end, we were very fortunate to get out with 2 wins there. My worry is that maybe the players have just sort of gone on holiday. Because they've gone out of the Europa League, they'd already won the title, and they gave their opposition a chance. But to be fair to them, we have wrapped up 2 perfect seasons in a row, which I don't think I've ever done in any FM, no matter how much better we are than the opposition. But I think this will be a big summer for the Welsh League transfer-wise, because we're going to have loads of sides in Europe and guaranteed group stage football. We're going to have a minimum of 3, basically, for the first ever time. So let's go and get into this one. Let's pick our lineup for today. And fingers crossed we can finish the season in style with Bangor City. So to finish the season, I've dropped Sam Hunt out because we don't think he's going to be staying next year. Bulkley drops into the midfield, Tom Jones in as the number 10, Gethin Davis onto the bench. Our 11 in total is Simancas between the sticks, McDonald and Bektas the fullbacks with Kelly back with Whittaker at centre-half, Lloyd, Reyes, Bulkley and Jones the midfield diamond, Walters and Goulding up front, and that front three have over 100 goals between them. Should be a very good day at the office if they've got their scoring boots on. And here we go, warning to close down Paul Roberts, Jack Delaney starting as well, Jamal Watts is on the bench, Cole Lacey's in there, a former player. They've got some good defenders too, but they do need 2 or 3 upgrades, particularly at centre-half. Ryan Hughes is our former player, Terry Taylor's about 34 now. And if they could get in a couple of decent centre-halves, I'd argue they've probably got a chance to compete with us a little bit, because going forward, they've scored goals all season. They've just not been quite good enough at the back. So let's go and get into the first half of the final. Of course, we lost out on the quadruple this year because of that disappointing penalty defeat in the SPFL Trust Trophy final. But we did make a record in Europe. Now, what we've got to do is make sure we don't drop anything domestically. The treble is a minimum expectation. And for the next couple of years, while it's still easy, we've got to do it. As Goulding gets in on the right, it's a fabulous finish for his 47th for the season. Through ball from right back for McDonald. It might have been Reyes, actually, in the end, who played the pass. It was. Ruben Reyes with a lovely assist. And Lloyd Goulding with a fantastic finish. 1-0 and we've got a free kick on the left. Bulkley puts it in. Dangerous position. Reyes header straight at the keeper. Weird distribution as well. In a real hurry to get rid of that, the keeper. And it went straight to Kai McDonald. There was no one up there. No idea why he rushed it. As Quick gets the ball on the left-hand side. Cardiff Met Uni have won it back. But the Silvers clearance only as far as McDonald. And because these sides set up so defensively against us, they don't have a way to deal with that onslaught. As Kelly gets it wide to Bektas on the left. Through ball towards Walters. I think he's off. He is. It's disallowed for offside. He finished it well as always. But Kane Walters does not have his cup final goal. Been a wonderful first 10 minutes though. As Brian takes the big free kick. Ahmet Bektas intercepts. Should fall for the right fullback Smith here. Into Ryan Hughes. Long ball forward but nobody's there. And this is the thing with Cardiff Met Uni. I've said it for years when we're playing bigger opposition. In a minnow nation, wherever it is, you've got to play 2 up front so you can try and cause a threat. In their players, if they put Roberts and Delaney up front together, they would have one hell of a threat. And they get a lot more points than they do. And they'd even do a lot better in Europe. But they're just so cautious. As Kelly heads the ball away to Lloyd Goulding. He gets it wide to McDonald. Goulding's down the line again. Electric pace to get in behind. 2 in the box. Walters, one of them. Heads over the bar from point blank range. He does not often miss those, Kane Walters. It remains 1-0 though. Quarter of an hour gone. Cardiff Met Uni have not had a sniff. Well, it's gone very quiet. We've got to the last couple of minutes before the break and we've not seen any highlights in the last half an hour. Kelly plays the ball out to Whittaker at the back and we're keeping it nicely still. We look dominant. We look in control. As Goulding's got it right side of the box. Back to Tom Jones. 2 blocks. Brilliant last-ditch defending. And Delaney and Lacey combine to clear downfield. As McDonald picks it up for Whittaker. He gives it to Jerome Kelly, out to Bektas. And again, we're using those flying fullbacks quite well today. Bulkley's playing better in the still a deeper midfield role as well. As Harvey Lloyd goes wide to Ahmet Bektas. Here's Jerome Kelly. Taking our time, picking the right pass out. But are we going to have an attacking threat from it? Reyes gets it. Wide to McDonald. This is normally where it gathers momentum. McDonald gets to the byline. Can he cross? He can. There's 4 in there. Bulkley's one of them. Smashes it on the half volley. But it just hits the top of the crossbar on its way over. Such a shame the way it went there. But it's been a very good first half performance. And the only shame really is that it's only 1-0. We've dominated every stat in the book. We've just got to hope we see more in the second half. As Cardiff Met Uni tire an amateur side, maybe then we can start to dominate and create more chances. As Quick gets the ball on the left from the kickoff. He switches to Jack Delaney. I'd love to see him up front. He's so good. Gets into the box. Crosses into Roberts. Good block by the defender. In the end, Lloyd has to take evasive action. Clears it away for a throw-in. It's a throw on the left-hand side for De Silva. Gives it away to Walters. It's really poor. Not the way we want them to lose the final, really. Individual errors at the back. And De Silva, probably their only top-class defender. Bulkley heads it into the box. Goulding chases it down. Excellent alert goalkeeping. And now they're on the counter with Roberts. Beats Whittaker to it. Good save, Simancas. This is the threat they can have. Imagine they had Delaney up there with him. That's all they need to have up here. As Lacey gets the ball in from the corner, Kelly heads away. It's going to fall as far as quick, but Cardiff Met Uni look very much equal to us at the start of this half. Kelly heads the ball away again, and Cole Lacey will keep possession. 10 minutes gone in the second half. A few warning signs for Bangor City here, as we've got a throw in the right back area with Kai McDonald. We'll think about substitutions in a moment as he plays a 1-2 with Lloyd. Through ball to Goulding, he's just too quick. The ageing back line is not going to cope. And Lloyd Goulding has the finish. He loves the little dink over the keeper. Came flying out Ethan Bryan. He's done a brilliant job to date for Cardiff Met Uni. But he couldn't stop that one. 2-0 Bangor City. And that should be the win with it. McDonald throws in from the right. Reyes loses out. Quick clears downfield, but there's nobody up there. And it goes all the way through to Roberto Simancas. Out short to Whittaker. Got two in midfield. One of them is Harvey Lloyd. Can he pick the pass out? He goes wide to Kai McDonald. Got acres of space to run into. Gets towards the byline. Chance to cross. There's four in the middle. Goes miles back to Lloyd instead. He finds Kyle Bulkley to Reyes. Can he play the decisive pass? He can't. Goes short again. Bulkley plays it to Harvey Lloyd. It's wide to Ahmet Bektas. Somebody's got to put the ball in here. There's so many men in the box. And eventually it's back to Tom Jones. Lovely ball for McDonald. Three in the middle. Jones is one of them. Cuts back to Reyes. Can someone deliver it, please? It's into Goulding. Hat-trick wrapped up. 3-0 on the day. Let's go and make substitutions because I think it's fair to say we've won now. Three of the young superstars on the bench. Nenov will get a go at left back in place of Ahmet Bektas. We'll bring on Ludomir Strom for Harvey Lloyd maybe, but we haven't got a holding midfielder. Do you know what? I'm going to take Reyes off. He's been the best player on the pitch from midfield, but he gets tired quite often. So let's just rest him, make sure we keep him fit. And then I want to take Lloyd off, but nobody can play deeper. Maybe Strom can do it. He's got the attributes. And we'll bring on Gethin Davis. So Davis on for Harvey Lloyd. Strom will go into the holding role. And in fact, as they're not showing much of an attacking threat, let's put him in between the two. We can have them all in there, can't we? Deep line playmaker on defend. And who should we put as that duty? Bulkley's the best passer, I think. So let's do it like that. Strom and Davis can do all the running. And Bulkley can just sit there and spray the passes. Well, into stoppage time. As usual, the substitutions have really killed the game. But it could have been a different story. If Cardiff Met Uni had got that goal when they dominated at the start of the second half, they might have been in it. But you can certainly see the sides like them are getting closer. And I think with three sides pretty much guaranteed group stage football and Cardiff Met Uni the fourth competing in the Europa Conference, we might see a very big transfer window now. As it is though, it's going to be lifted. The Welsh Cup is Bangor City's. A third trophy of the year. A treble yet again. It's going to start to get harder very soon. But at the moment, we celebrate more success. Great to see Roberto Simancas will be joining us next year. He made one big save there in the final. So let's go and get ahead to the end of season review and plan a very big sum up for Bangor City. End of season review time. Season 16 is done and dusted. We win 3 trophies because of some disappointment, but let's start by looking at the signings. Carlton Broadbent the first one. Another striker that's done better than was expected. Really good player. The problem is, he started on fire and then just dropped off towards the end of the year. But he's only 22 now. I'm sure he's got a big future. Nenov, pre-agreed for the summer, 3.3 million. He's going to be a steal. And the big money signing Bektas, he was never going to let us down. The problem is, he'll probably move on again soon because he's got a contract that says he can go for 11 million. I know it means we make a profit on him every time, but still, I'd like to just keep him settled. The rest of them, Sam Hunt on loan, really grew into the season. Pena has now gone out on loan again. And to be honest, he is improving. I'd like to consider him again. But if it wasn't for the fact that Sam Hunt came on loan, he would have been first choice. And he did do well for us in Europe. In terms of the outs, we're going to see a lot more of these the next couple of years. It was a bit of a change in the guard, and it will still be next year too. Wiccan's gone to Preston as a backup keeper. Patrick Malone and Christopher Broom were the new Hibs centre midfield partnership. And John Price to Bristol City, and he did fantastically. So really good to see them doing well. Pasiarek obviously had a difficult loan spell at Brentford. He's back with us now. Weaver and Matai, much the same at their clubs. Barely got a game in the end, but we will try and sell a few more on this summer. Let's go and have a look at the season's outcomes. We now know the 4 sides that are definitely in Europe. We've got to hope Bala or Colwyn Bate win the playoff. We've got our highest average home attendance again. It's been another fantastic season. But that was the disappointment. Out to Livingston on penalties in the SPFL Trust Trophy. And to be fair, we did have a really difficult run. Linfield, albeit they had loads on international duty, made it really easy. But TNS and Hearts made it hard for us. And Livingston, in the end, they caught us out. We didn't have a great competition. We did brilliantly in a Champions League group to get 8 points. Of course, 4 off Rijeka rather than 6. That unbelievable win against Manchester City. Still probably our best result of the series overall. It was an unbelievable display. And finishing third meant we got to the Europa League. And we finally beat the last 16 stage. We got past Aberdeen and Real Sociedad. And we unfortunately fell out to Valencia on penalties. Heartbreak, really. Imagine if we'd got through that shootout. We could have had a semi-final in the Europa League. No one would be telling me it's a small competition then. The other 2 cups we won nice and comfortably. Good performances all around. And it was just a brilliant year. I'm so surprised at the match to remember. Why would you pick the Newtown game when there was the Man City one? I don't know. Ahmet Bektas goal of the season. Linfield win, of course the biggest one. It wasn't really a fair result because they had so many players away. The finances passed the 100 million mark this year. Of course, we've mentioned all the prize money and stuff comes a bit later from the unallocated pool. And the reputation stays 3 stars. What we want, though, is some of the others to move closer. TNS get into the knockout rounds in Europe 2 years in a row. Hopefully they can get up to 2.5 star and start to sign better players as well. The first 11 is no surprise at all, other than Gethin Davis, who's worked his way in there into midfield ahead of Jones and ahead of Hunt as well. So maybe he's the one that's going to break in next year, because he is probably the best player of the lot. Mackenzie and for Kelly at centre-half as well, but Kelly's had a really injury-hit year, and at 29, I've probably got a big decision to make on him soon. Let's have a look at the accolades. Lloyd Goulding winning a couple of awards, Bulkley winning a few as well, and Broadbent was still signing of the season. Bulkley became our youngest ever player as well, Kean Bulkley that is, improving already after coming through the youth intake, and Kyle Bulkley got 27 assists. For the man who started the season in a strop and not playing that well, that's pretty remarkable, isn't it? So a wonderful season, 3 trophies in the bag, another big summer to look forward to. The likes of TNS have already pre-agreed some transfers, and this summer for Welsh football should be big. We'll have the first year of effects of finishing 11th in the European club coefficients. So TNS will be in the Europa League playoff. They're guaranteed Europa Conference football. Barry, second qualifying round of the Champions League. They've only got to win 1 tie out of 3, and they're into the Europa Conference group stages too. And Cardiff Met Uni, if any side from this league is going to have a go at getting through 2 rounds, I reckon it'll be them. They start in the 3rd qualifier, so they've only got to win 2, but they're probably going to get a monstrous side at some point. A big summer to look forward to though. I hope you've enjoyed this season. If you did, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily content from this series every weekday at 3:30. Some specials at the weekend as well, including the end of our Welsh experiment this Sunday. And loads of live streams over on Twitch as well. It's a bank holiday weekend and we're going to be watching loads of football. So come and follow me over there. Check out the podcast in the eye above too. And I'll see you next time for season 17 and the breakthrough one for the Welsh Premier League. I'll see you there.